I put my trust in you, and I trust in love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love. I put my trust in you, and I trust in love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love.
Hello, friends. My name is Dain Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain. And we're your fuck buddies.
We are a dating and sex advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations, turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
Simply put, we are a sex and dating advice podcast. We find questions either online from our wonderful listeners, and we answer them right here, right now, in your ears, every Monday.
Did we do this last time we were in the closet together? We're in the closet again together. Did we have the boom arm, or did I put the thing in between us?
I don't know, but it's weird because it's like blocking out your face, and I'm just jumping side to side. Dane, where else can you find fuck buddies if you have a hankering? You've just listened to us for 18 seconds and you want more. Where else?
It's Patreon.
Damn.
If you want an extra episode every month, we do a weekly episode. As you know this, we've never missed an episode in the 5 years.
Crazy.
That's coming up too. I think our 5-year anniversary.
Probably now-ish.
Around here. Maybe this is our 5-year anniversary episode.
Damn, we should have popped a bottle.
I don't know.
Hey, let's just do it next week.
If you're like, damn, I wish there was one extra. I could really get through this tough times if I just had one more extra episode. Well, you could for a small donation, a small contribution to the coffers to keep this show going, keep food in our bellies, keep the episodes getting edited, and you get an extra episode every month on Patreon. So patreon.com/fbuddies, or just head on over to fbuddiespodcast.com and click the Patreon link.
Yeah. Also, there is still time when this episode comes out. We will be 4 days away from our show on the 26th. Black Sheep.
Yep.
$10 tickets. 2 hours of fun and chaos, maybe more, depending on when you arrive and when you leave. Custom cocktails, custom food deals. Me and Dane up on stage talking about dicks.
Playing just nothing but Pitbull.
Nothing but Pitbull before the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We already have a bunch. We had a surge of interest the other day, so a lot have been snapped up. But
scooped.
You might get lucky. Go buy one. It's a lot of fun, and we love you. But you know what? It's probably time for the actual podcast.
Yeah.
You've been good. You've listened. You deserve this. You ready? This is by the Brilliant Idiot. And no, I didn't submit it. After sex etiquette. To sleep over or not to sleep over? Hey, Reddit. This is a continuation of multiple blah, blah, blah. Context. I started seeing a girl about a week ago. She is cool. We have a lot in common. We are both into each other sexually. Went on a casual coffee first date. Into a walk in the park, great conversation, into a makeout in the car before I dropped her off. Successful first date. Following weekend, I invited her to my place. It was a rainy weekend, so we did takeout in the movie. Came over around 7, drank some wine, smoked some weed, ate good food, cuddled up to watch the movie. 40 minutes in, I made a move. We had great sex. Cuddled naked for the remainder of the movie. All standard stuff. Another great date. Now here comes the question. As soon as the movie ends, around midnight, she gets up to get dressed. I mentioned she can sleep over if she wants to, but it's up to her if she needs to leave. She said she needs to get home, which is perfectly reasonable. I'm sure she had a reason, so I didn't question further, but am I wrong for at least wanting her to give me a good reason for having to leave? Or is a reason not necessary? It wasn't until after she left I realized I've never had a girl not sleep over after sex. This was my first time. For context, I'm 29 and been in many relationships. To my surprise, I felt kind of sad and used. I guess it was my first booty call, even though she did nothing wrong and it was overall a great date. So Reddit, am I wrong for expecting a sleepover? Is she wrong for not communicating? Is no one wrong? Is this normal practice and I never experienced it? Or is it strange to leave after sex? Is it needy to feel this way after literally 2 dates and sex once? Am I a big ol' softie? Internet, please share your thoughts on this divisive topic.
I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to personal preference. I don't think you're owed an explanation.
No.
I think a little reason is nice, but at the end of the day, if maybe it's something, maybe she's like for me, I have a hard time sleeping. I have a very, very difficult time falling asleep. Even when I'm in my own bed with my cat purring beside me, with all my comforts and all the things, I've got a podcast playing. I don't have to worry about anyone else, and I still have a difficult time sleeping. But add in another person making the bed hot, taking up space. I'm not going to listen to my podcast because I don't want to keep them up. There's I add all these other contributing factors, and then add on the anxiety of being like, I don't sleep well, and now there's another person in the bed, and I'm just going to be uncomfortable.
She's at your place, too, so unfamiliar bed, unfamiliar toilet, unfamiliar whatever. You don't have your clothes, you don't have your toothbrush, you don't have, the ability to shower, easily without, stress because it's not your place, right?
Maybe you guys had really delicious Indian food and she just has to go do an absolute fucking
dumper.
Just a huge dumper. And she doesn't want to do that at a dude she's slept with for the first time. You know what I mean? Like, you would probably be like, this question would be, I can't believe I had a really great date. I'm really into her, but she did absolute toilet crimes after. And I was like, do you want her to be like, hey, I actually need to rip the biggest shit. Dumper. Is that what you want to hear? Or would you rather just hear, sorry, I gotta go home. I gotta get home. Maybe she gotta feed a cat, walk a dog. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Also, like, it's kind of shitty to me that you're like, she needs to give me a good reason. Like, one, she doesn't need to give you any fucking reason. Because it doesn't matter. If she wants to go home, you can't be like, actually, that's not valid. You do have to stay.
And then
like,
handcuff her to the fucking...
Yeah, that's balls. And it's like, also, she could be like, I have to be up early for work, which is a standard one that I would say. And a lot of the time it's lies because I just don't want to stay over, which most of the time has absolutely no bearing on the person.
Yeah.
It's just what Dain said. I want to be comfortable. I want to be at home. I don't want to wake up and just leave anyway, but be a little stinkier and more tired and blah. Right? Like, fuck that. I just want to be home. I had a great night. I get to go home and be happy, and that stays a good night. I don't have to stay and, like, lie there and not sleep and count down the hours until it's morning and then leave anyway, but then my whole day's ruined.
Yeah. The other thing of you being like, am I being too needy? No, you're being a little unreasonable, but I wouldn't say you're being needy. If you prefer when someone stays over, that's fine. That's okay. That's your personal preference. You like when people stay over.
Yeah.
Great. Some people don't like it. Some people like it in certain situations. Like, there have been times where, like I said, typically I don't want to stay over and I don't want people to stay over. But sometimes you fuck like crazy and then you roll over and in mid-cuddle you pass out and then you wake up and it's 7 a.m. and you're like, oops, I spent the night.
Yeah, and that was great.
Fine.
Yeah, or you're just vibing and you're like, just stay, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. Just because I don't generally like it doesn't mean I don't like it. I've done it a million times, you know, on both sides of it. Maybe let's go through the questions.
Sure.
And we'll answer them rapidly.
Yeah.
Am I wrong for expecting sleepover? I think yes, because you use the word expect.
Yeah. I think that's it. If the question was, am I wrong for wanting a sleepover? No, absolutely not. But you expecting something from a partner that hasn't been communicated. Like, if you guys had made the plan of being like, hey, come over, you can spend the night, and it was like sort of a thing that you were doing and you expected it because you had talked about it.
Yeah.
Different situation.
And then I would also be more on the side of, it's weird that they didn't give a reason, because if it was the plan and all of a sudden she's changing the plan, you know, again, not that she needs a valid reason, but, you know, it would be nice in that situation. But in this situation, don't expect it when there's no reason to expect it, right?
Yeah.
You can want it all you want once you're chill. And I'm not sure you're being chill. Is she wrong for not communicating? No.
She did communicate.
Yeah, she wanted to go home.
Yeah.
And, like, don't hold it against her. Don't be weird about it. Is it normal practice and I've just never experienced it? Or is it strange to leave after sex? It's totally normal.
Yeah. Again, I think there is probably a little bit more societal pressure of staying over.
For sure, yeah.
But I think nowadays, a lot more people are a little more open with the fluidity of, like, sexual relationships, of being like, oh, just because we had sex doesn't mean I now have to, like, cuddle you and that we then have to go and have breakfast the next morning. Like, that doesn't have to be the staple of a sexual relationship. It can be, we had a great night, we had great food, we had great sex, and now I'm going to call it a night. Like, I think a lot more people are getting a little bit more personal with their definition of what they want from these kind of relationships.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, it's great.
Is it needed to feel this way after literally 2 dates and sex once?
Again, I don't think it's needy, but I do think it's unreasonable.
Yes, I think you wanting it, no problem with that.
That's fine.
I think it's great.
That's what you like.
But you being weird about it or, like, holding it against them, not great.
Yeah, it's all perspective and, like, the way you view people's autonomy, I think, right? I think you're putting a lot of weight on this, the fact that you guys have had sex. Now you feel like there's a bit more of a burden of responsibility.
Like expectation.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily think that is a good way to approach a new relationship or any relationship of being like, here are the things that I want, and I expect those to be met every time. And now that we've added sex into the matter, then now all those things need to be met. And, like, you didn't like go to bat for what you wanted, right? Like, you said, like, oh, you can crash here if you want,
which, like, you're obviously going to say.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, hey, I want you to stay over.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like,
Not that I think that's the way forward either.
No, but what I'm saying is, now that you've done this and you've taken a progressive step forward in your relationship, you can now be like, hey, I love when people spend the night. I would love to spend the night with you if you are comfortable.
Because also, for all we know, she did it to spare you, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she wanted to stay, but was like, oh, I don't know if he wants to. You never know. But like, that's the thing. It's annoying to get annoyed over something you never even like communicated either.
And the easiest way to get the things that you want is by letting your partner know that you want them, right? So like, if, again, as Niall said, it's like a lot of people might, especially women, I feel like, probably think like, oh, he's saying it to be polite.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, but like, I'm going to bounce. So you communicating that this is something that you like having a sleepover after hooking up, you like having a sleepover when someone has spent, like you want them to spend the night. Great. Now they know that.
Yeah.
That guesswork is out.
And I think say that maybe in between dates.
Yes.
Or before a date.
Yeah.
To, front load expectations so that one, if they want to, they can prepare and be like, cool, I'm going to bring pajamas. I'm going to bring a toothbrush. Or they can be like, oh no, and don't be pushy because again, it is so okay for someone not to want to stay over for
especially
a million reasons. Am I just a big old softy?
Maybe. That's fine.
I wonder what you mean. I think do you mean like, oh, am I just like, I think you mean it negatively.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you meant it negatively, I think it would have been like, am I a pussy? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I think the term softy still has a level of endearment, I think, to it. So I think this is him like testing the social norms, like the gender role pool, being like, am I less of a man because I like having women stay over or like sexual partner? Yeah. No, not at all. It's fine. It's cute.
Honestly, if you were chill with their decision and it was just like, I would like this, but hey, maybe some other time, there'd be no issues here.
No.
The issues are you kind of taking personal affront at this and like, maybe it wasn't good enough for like, fuck that.
Yeah.
She can be like, I just don't want to. Great. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Now, the only other thing I would pull up, which isn't a question at the end, the feeling used part.
Well, he also said this was a booty call, and I would say it's distinctly not a booty call.
For sure. Yeah.
You had a whole date.
Yeah.
You had dinner together. You watched a movie together. You cuddled.
Time.
You had sex. That's a date night. You had a date night. That's not a booty call. It's not like she called you up at 2 a.m.
Showed over, fucked, and ran away.
Yeah.
Which, in that case, I don't even feel like if you've agreed to that, I don't think you can feel used. You know what I mean? Like, if someone calls you at 2 a.m., it's like, I'm going to come over, let's fuck, and then they fucking leave. It's like, what did you expect? Roses and dinner at 2 a.m.?
Yes.
It's like, don't lie to yourself about a situation and then feel used after, right? But that's a different situation. This is this. I want to know why you would feel used because you wanted to have sex, presumably.
Yeah, he made the move.
So you got what you wanted. How is that being used?
Yeah, honestly, like what ended up happening here, in my opinion, and happens, I feel like a lot of the time when people want to use throw around the I was used, I feel used, I feel taken advantage of, and not a, assault way. I feel like a lot of people use that language when they didn't get 100% of what they wanted.
Or what they expected.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's like, no, you didn't get used. You shouldn't feel used. Just because you didn't receive everything that you wanted out of the night, that's not...
Especially when what you want out of the night is just a thing you made up in your head.
Yeah.
Like you've just decided, I wanted her to stay over, I wanted to do this, blah, blah, blah. Again, it's not like you decided all those things. Yeah. Right? If you were like, I want to do a movie, I want to do this, blah, 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 and then she showed over, fucked you, and ran away. Sure, if you guys had planned the night, you might be like, it's weird that she said yes, came over, had sex with me, and then bailed on everything else we planned.
Yeah, or she came over and, drank a really nice bottle of wine, ordered a bunch of food on Uber Eats, made you pay for it, and then was like, the second you went in for a move, she was like, oh, my cat's sick, and then left. It's like,
then sure.
Sure, I would understand it being like, I feel a little taken advantage of here. That's not to say that buying wine and food
exactly.
means that you have to have sex. I think there are people out there who do take advantage of people to get meals and stuff.
And like, I know this is a weird and wrong comparison to make, but it's like buying someone dinner and then being like, well, I should have sex, I expect it, isn't, in a way, obviously it's so much worse, but like being like, I had sex, so now I expect you to stay over, right? It's still, X doesn't mean Y.
Yeah.
Right? And it shouldn't. And like being like, oh, you owe me now, or like you have to, like, that's a shit way to be.
Yeah,
so
we did this thing and now this has to happen because that's what I want.
Exactly. So just step away from that. And like, if you can't have sex without feeling used, maybe you're not ready to have sex.
Yeah, or like examine like what it means for you to feel comfortable in a sexual relationship.
Yes.
And if it is, they need to stay over afterwards, or you feel weird or you feel used, then I think you definitely need to sort of like work back as to why that is.
Yes.
Right? I think you need to sort of like take a couple steps back. Like, you know, the answer that someone having sex with you and not staying over makes you feel like bad,
lesser or whatever.
So you need to, you know, the answer, work back to where that problem, like where the question was asked, of being like, oh, maybe you had an ex who cheated on you, and every time they didn't stay over, it was a sign that they were going somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but like, there's got to be an inciting incident there.
Or like a lack of worth where you feel like your personality isn't good enough, but you got a great dick. I don't know. Maybe like, but even then, that's not your partner's problem.
Nope.
You know what I mean? I don't think you go, oh, I realize this, and then say, because I have this issue, you now need to stay over. You have to stay over. It's not their fault.
No.
It's not on them. It's on you to work around that. And, you know, if doing this is going to make you feel bad, then don't have sex. Don't do a thing you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially if it's conditional, if your happiness is then conditional on something that
is
someone isn't required to do.
Yes. And also, they don't even know they're meant to do because it's all in your head. So be chill, please.
Yeah, I mean, here's something sort of like in the same line of things. This is 1-800-BAY-LOVER-KID. Is it okay to ask him if he wants to hook up again? How long should I wait until we hook up again? So me and this guy, we were in college together and living in the dorms. And one night, I was going through a hard time. He said, I can come over and talk about it. We talked about it, among other personal stuff, and it led to sex. That time he brought it up, and the second time we hooked up, I brought it up, but we hooked up for the second time on Monday, and I really want to have sex with him again and again. How long should I wait before asking him if he wants to hook up again?
When you want to, just ask.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we hooked up. Hold on. The second hookup? Wait, that adds 2 hours, but the original hookup is 7 hours. So it has to be 9.
You're forgetting that it did happen on a Monday the second time.
Monday, you multiply it by, is it 3.2?
It's so the way I remember it is it's pretty much pi. So it's 3.14.
Yes. Okay. Well, I like to round up to 3.2. I know that's not acceptance on circles. And that's why I never have had sex. Just fucking message it. Again, it's like, there's no hidden secret. There's no code. There's no like, you know, especially with this, like, you've hooked up not once, but twice. No one's like, oh, she wants to have sex with me again. Fuck. I hate having sex
with a person that I've had sex with twice.
Yeah. No. Like, just be like, hey, that was great. Let's fuck. Like,
I mean, you guys are in college and you guys are hooking up. And I don't know, like, what it was like the second time. Because, like, the first time it seems like you guys were actually hanging out. And then, you know, one thing led to another and boom, now you're fucking. But, like, was the second time similar situation? Like, were you guys hanging out and then it just kind of happened again? Or did you booty call
message? Yeah. Did you say, hey, I want to fuck? Because it's like, I worry that she's like, oh, but I did it the second time. So he has to do it the third time.
Yes.
Or like, oh, I can't. No one cares.
No one cares.
And if they do, they're not worth fucking. If they're like, oh, the kind of girl that's going to ask me to have sex with her twice in 1 week, like, then that's some person that needs to grow up a lot and you don't have the time to waste.
Now, I do want to say there is a fine line of being like, don't text this dude like every day.
Sure.
Right? Like, I think there's a level of tact that you need to, I don't want to say every day. Sort of pace yourself. Like, you don't want to like annoy, like, especially if you're someone with a high sex drive, be like, come fuck me, come fuck me, come fuck me, come fuck me. Like, if that, like, for me, even if I do want to fuck you every time you say it, I think it would burn me out a little bit of being like, you know, I need a little bit of like, I want
to live.
And I want to like, I want to watch you again. Right? Like, I want to see someone. So I feel like once you start seeing someone, especially this fast and this close together, I feel like there is sort of a risk of being like, oh, we've kind of like burnt this out like way too fucking fast.
The good thing is it's no different to having a friend or, you know what I mean? I think you could also be like, hey, let's hang out. Let's hang out.
Yeah,
like
100%.
That would be annoying. Or like, oh, let's go on a date. Let's go on a date. Or like, come over. Like, so it's not like a special, sex thing. It's just a general tact thing.
It's a understanding people's time and understanding that like, I think it's an attachment thing, right? I think a lot of people, I think it gets exacerbated once sex is involved because most people get fucking weird the second sex is part of the equation. So it's like, just my only issue is, or like my only warning outside of the advice of being like, ask him to hook up whenever you want to hook up. Is make sure you're not being overly aggressive or overly like doing it way too fucking much.
I also think it's worth, maybe not right now, but pretty soon, having a chat and being like, oh, so, you know, what's the etiquette here? Are we just fucking? And if so, is it going to be kind of a, I'm in the neighborhood, I'll pop right over, or I'll text you, like, and I'll see you tonight,
or like, let's plan a date.
Yes. Or let's actually date.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is it going to be hanging out and fucking, just fucking, like spontaneous fucking, or are we actually going to try to make this work? Because like, you did have a deep personal chat that first time. So it's like, you know, it's always nice to know where you stand. And I think I know we've said this a million fucking times. Don't do a what are you looking for? Say, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And then hopefully they'll be honest back, right? Like if you want something super casual, be like, hey, I really like hooking up with you. I just want something super casual. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Or if you want something more, say that. Don't be like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And hope that.
Yeah. It's always way better to be like, hey, I've really enjoyed the time that we've spent together.
Yeah.
And I would love to see you more. That's like, you don't even have to say like, I want to date you. I want to, you know, it's still new. So just being like, hey, I want to see you more. Let's grab drinks one night. Let's go actually out for a date.
Yeah.
Put that on the table and see where it is. You know, hopefully if he reciprocates the honesty and what he's looking for, he might just be like, I'm actually kind of looking for just like quick hookups.
And then
great.
Be honest with yourself. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Is it not? If it is, great. If it's not, don't be like, yeah, it's fine. And then ruin your life.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Dramatic Buddy 3229. A guy I met today showed up suddenly near my apartment. I met this guy today at a subway station and we were hitting it off and we exchanged contacts. I got home a few hours ago and we were texting and chit-chatting. Things were going well and we were planning on going on dates sometime soon. After a while, he asked me which subway station I live nearby and if I live far from it, and I told him the station and the street I lived on, which in hindsight, I don't think was a good idea to tell him. Questions from him started to get weird, and he texted me then saying he's nearby and asked me if I want to come out and make out with him. I was really weirded out. I told him, why didn't he tell me so we could have planned this? And he responded, oh, I don't see why it's a big deal, blah, blah, blah. I told him it's kind of weird to show up unannounced near a girl's apartment you've just met today, and to my surprise, he literally said, that's such an Asian woman mindset. Whoa. And I was like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Then he kept blabbing about how it was weird of me to make a big deal out of it. He still asked if I'm coming out after all that, and I was genuinely a little concerned for a second, and I stopped replying. It might be the fact I'm a little tired right now, but I literally started to ask myself, am I making it a big deal, or is he gaslighting me? I thought things were going so well, but then he pulled this out of nowhere, and I don't know if I should still talk to him. Any advice?
Yeah. I know I say this a lot, but it's like, I'm always worried that like, eventually we'll talk about everything. Eventually, you know, there will be no more questions. But then at least once a week, we get someone being like, hey, a dude who followed me more or less home from the subway, then was super racist to me, and then told me I should just come outside of my home and make out with him. Should I keep talking to him?
This guy scared me so much, I stopped replying to him. Is it because I'm sweepy? Is it because I'm a little sweepy girl? Like, this racist stalker.
Sleepy Asian girl. Very important.
Yeah. It's like, you're not just a little sleepy. You're being stalked and abused. Like, already. It's day one. Yeah. Like, literally, should I make out with this racist stalker?
That's your question. You've gone on the internet and you have asked, should I make out? Should I keep talking? Should I go on a date with a racist stalker? That's your question.
Who's gaslighting me?
Immediately.
Yeah, like, no, this dude is is there a step beyond red flag? He's just a flagpole with, like, nails through them, and he's outside your window, and he's waving it at you, and he's yelling slurs.
It's like that scene from Say Anything, the end with John Cusack raises up the boombox outside your window, except this is
a bunch of knives.
It's knives with red flags attached to them, and he's waving them at you.
No. Also, let's rewind a bit. Don't give your address out to strangers.
I always, whenever I'm on like a dating app and I want to sort of like plan a location for the date, I always say like, what area of the city are you in? Because I never want to be like, where do you live?
Yeah.
Like, even though it's probably pretty obvious that I'm not asking for your exact address, it's still a question I don't want to be asked. And it's a question I don't want to ask people. So I always say like, what neighborhood are you in? Like, what area of the city are you in? So if you want to say like, even if you keep it as generic as like,
East
I'm West
side.
End, East End, whatever, then I can be like, okay, cool. I will, if you're east and I'm west, then I'll find something central. And if you're both west, I'll find a cool place in west. I was working the other day and there was 3 dudes who were aggressively arguing which Recess character they and their friends were. And I was like,
I don't think I've ever watched it.
This is great. I watched a little bit of it. It was on either before or after a show I actually watched, and I don't remember what it was. I think it was Gargoyles.
Hell yeah. Now that I watched.
Right? But I might be wrong. Yeah.
Don't. This guy sucks shit. He's so bad. He might be a criminal, actually. He sounds like he's acting like a criminal. He's cosplaying as one currently.
Yeah, there's nothing good about this. Just block the number, and I mean, like, the problem is like,
does know where you
roughly.
Yeah.
So you like, he's going to be walking up and down your street hoping to bump into you.
Oh, for sure.
And that sucks.
You need a costume.
No, like, if it does happen, you do need to be like, hey, sorry, I'm not interested. If I do see you around again, I will have to call a cop. So like, please, like, oops, we made mistakes. Not interested. Thank you. Move on.
Yeah.
And that needs to be very clear and be safe. Be really, really safe.
First time you see him, you need to be, hey, you can't be doing this. This is super creepy. Second time you pull out your phone, start recording because that's danger times.
Yeah.
Even first time might be, I don't know, just this guy sucks. Do not, please do not see this person.
Yeah.
Do yourself favors. Put yourself in good positions. Don't do this dangerous, awful thing that you know is bad. We all know it's bad. Why are you even asking?
That's the thing. Like, again,
please. I'm not trying to like shame you or anything. I'm just trying to help you. And this is worrying me. Don't do this.
It's very important. Imagine anytime you wonder if you should still see someone or give someone a second chance, what you need to do is try to boil down the events that led you to questioning this into what you would like, how you would describe a movie, like a log line of a movie. Be like, woman meets man in subway station. He follows her home.
Like, says racially insensitive remarks.
Yeah, I don't even think you need to go that far.
Yeah, that's enough.
Right? Like, I think just like man and woman meet in subway. He follows her home and stands outside her house.
Or type that into Google and see what genre of movie comes up. Because let me guess, it's going to be horror.
Yeah. And Wicker Park. Do you ever watch Wicker Park? So Wicker Park, I believe, was a Josh Hartnett movie. It's Josh Hartnett, and I think
it's like a live action Recess, right?
I wish. Oh man, Josh Hartnett's such a DJ. I think I don't know. That's a called shot. I think DJ is the main character. You don't know who Josh Hartnett is?
I probably do. The name rings a bell. I don't fucking know.
He was one of those. He was like one of the flash in the pans, like heartthrobs. Like everyone was like, "Oh, he's so hot." Anyway,
if it's not Chad Michael Murray, I don't know or care.
The whole like the trailer for Wicker Park makes the thing seem like a dark thriller, like psychological horror, and it's just like a romantic.
Are you mixing up with Town?
No, I'm positive.
Mr. Batfleck, he was a heartthrob. He's in that.
Yes, I know. I know what the Town is.
Yeah, are they the same thing? Wicker Park, the town? Is Wicker Park in a town?
Wicker Park is in Chicago,
which is a town. Town Chicago. Do they wear masks and heist a bank? Maybe.
No.
Probably.
Why do you think I'm thinking of the Town?
I just feel like you are.
I'm not.
Did they come out the same year?
I don't know.
Seems convenient.
Okay. Is it my question?
I can hit you with more.
No, I got it.
This one's great.
Okay.
Now you go.
No, you go. No, it's so good.
All right.
You're just going to start talking about the Town again anyway, no matter what.
It's actually about the town, which is why I know. Now, this is a question for you. Firstly, actually, I'm going to replace Doom Man, and I'm just going to say, I'll replace that with Dain.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me how true this is.
Sure.
This is by Throwaway Okie Dokie. Does Dain actually care about dark or light feminine energy of women? Met a strange woman who told me that 90% of Dain likes women with dark feminine energy, mysterious, intimidating, reserved, sexy, etc., instead of light feminine energy, innocent, approachable, bubbly, optimistic, smiley, and such. She told me I have light feminine energy and described me as rainbow and sunshine to other people, and that the 10% left over of quality Dain who likes women with light feminine energy are actually top tier Dain, but are incredibly hard to find. This woman is near her mid-30s, quite successful, and networks like crazy. She claims she can read people easily, because she has a degree in psychology. I thought it was incredibly dumb to label and categorize women into two different groups, because people are much more complex than that. While I do come off happy when seeing someone, there's a whole other side of me I hide from people in fear of becoming a burden to someone, and most times prefer to keep my dark past/upbringing and anything about my family private. I don't converse with Dain very much, but was curious if this is a thing.
I do like the part of the question where you said I was top tier Dain.
Only 10% of you / all the Danes.
Yeah. I mean, you are correct. It's bad to categorize anyone into very narrow.
Yeah, just the binary of 2 types of women.
Yeah.
That's it.
And like the idea of like light and dark. What? Like, it's.
Hey, yeah, keep going. I'll drop it on you in a minute, but keep going.
Because like when you were like, oh, dark feminine energy, where it's like, I love me a spooky blade.
Dain does love.
But if you look at sort of like my recent dating trajectory, I would also put the bubbly, optimistic, like that is very much a thing that I look for in people.
And you could also be spooky and that. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
it's funny that there's not just 2 types of people.
Yes. So it's very, very annoying that you're like, oh, she can read, like you can read people. And like, I could go and be like, I could come up with classifications for people and be roughly correct. That's what horoscopes are.
Yeah, it's like she's been pretty vague.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point. Also, why are you saying a strange woman? I met a strange woman and she told me this thing and it rocked my worldview. It's like, maybe don't just listen to strange weirdos.
And you're like, how do you
Unless
know
it's us.
How do you know she's successful? Because she told you?
Yeah.
How do you know she has a degree in psychology? Because she told you?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I have people tell me, I'm a bartender. I have people tell me crazy shit all the time. I had a dude once tell me he wrote the riff to Eric Clapton's Layla and then told me that he has so much money that tipping doesn't make any sense. So he gave me a burned CD of him playing music at what sounds like a high school auditorium to a crowd of like 7 people.
Hell yeah. That's got to be priceless. He wrote Layla.
Yeah. It's like, so, yeah.
And Dain sold that, got a degree in psychology with the money, and now he has a podcast. Successful podcast. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, no, stop. This makes no sense. This is dumb. This is like seduction, but for women.
Look.
And by that, I mean the shitty subreddit seduction, not.
Yeah. If you want to, operate your life by putting your energy in 2 categories and be like, oh, today's a light energy, today's a dark energy. That's fine. Do it. Whatever.
Sounds like an awful way to live, but sure.
Yeah. But it's like, it's you. But don't accept someone who's just said crazy shit to you and then accept that as true, a real worldview, and then try to go forward and continue to classify human beings that have, you yourself are like, oh, I do an outward presenting of light and bubbly, but I actually like have all this, like I have a dark past and a rough family life, and I don't want to be a burden on people. It's like,
it is wild that she's like, a strange woman told me this thing. And like you yourself writing this post, prove it is incorrect. And you're like, is it true though?
Yeah.
Look, are you the only one? You're the chosen one that's both light and dark. Like the Avatar, the Last Airbender, not the Blue Boys.
Ugh.
Light, dark. Everything was fine until the Dark Nation attacked.
You can't say that.
I felt bad. I'm just going to take back all the Avatar stuff. It doesn't really work. But yeah, this is stupid. You know it's stupid. Stop it. Don't listen to strange women.
Yeah. I can just like imagine it's just woman who's like fucking 12 espresso martinis deep on like a Tuesday night, just saying absolute.
Definitely wearing like cheetah print something. Like leopard print.
Animal print for sure. Big glasses. I'm seeing like
Frizzy.
A white streak in the hair. You know what I mean? Like that sort of like Rogue from X-Men streak in the hair. For sure. For sure.
If you look and act like this, we're sorry. But maybe stop telling people about the light-dark binary.
This is... Ooh, actually, no, I think we got to get out of here. Let's do a quick one.
Well, we did spend a lot of time when you were looking for your questions.
It was like 1 minute.
12 minutes.
This is Sammy with a bunch of M's, ×3. Do you keep nudes after the end of a relationship / situationship, etc.? Is it normal to keep nudes or videos or sexual acts after you stop communicating with the person? Do you delete them if someone asks? Or do you wait for the other person to say they don't want, or that they want you to delete them?
I've never had anybody say they want me to delete their nudes, but I also definitely haven't when I broke up with someone run to my computer and like deleted them. So no and no.
I mean, for me, it's like I don't really save nudes.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I don't, it's not like I have, like I said, so it's like the way I would do that would be like remove all, like archive all my, like delete my text chain with you, delete my Instagram history with you. You know what I mean? Like that would be my way of like deleting nudes. So it's like, no.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if there is one like saved on my phone for whatever reason, I'm not going to go through fucking months or years of fucking photos and like archived images and shit and be like, there's that one butt picture.
Exactly.
It's out.
Especially like, it's not like, oh, we broke up, whether it was you or them. It's like, I hate their butt now. I gotta find, like, if someone asked me to delete them, for sure. Yeah, I would make that effort. But like, if not, like, I don't know. Like,
and so here's where it comes down to for me is you need to have the foresight of being like, this person, no matter, regardless of how this relationship ends, is going to have access to these pictures. There's nothing you can do, like, short of breaking in Mission Impossible style and, like, wiping all of their hard drives and phones and everything. They're going to have access to these pictures.
Yes.
So you need to either take the precaution of make sure your face isn't in the pictures so that you can have plausible deniability.
And your, like, tattoos that will clearly point out which person you are.
So it's like you need to make the choice of being like, they're always going to have access to it, and I have no way of making sure that they do or don't get rid of them.
Ever.
So
you need to either be okay with that and take those precautions, or if you don't trust someone, don't send them.
Don't send them.
And that's kind of where it's at. And yes, that sucks, I guess, but like, it also sucks that you have to lock your door when you go out.
But I don't think that necessarily sucks because it's...
Well, no, it does suck in that, like, in a perfect world, you wouldn't have to worry about someone being shitty. That's what I mean, right? It sucks that we live in a world where, like, and, like, it makes sense or whatever. You know what I mean? I get it. I'm just saying it sucks that, like, we do have to take precautions.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like, be smart about what you send to people. Be smart about who you're sending it to. And just don't put your face in your nudes.
Yeah.
Unless you really trust the person. And that's fine. Because I'm not going to try to find all the nudes that you've sent me and
that's a lot of work. And it's like, I don't know. I'm also not gonna be shitty about it, so I don't even need to. You ready for some Tindies? And by that I mean you got some for me, because guess what, Dain? I have one and I think I'm saving it for the live show.
Okay, that's cool.
Thank you to everyone who's here so far. It's time for Tinders, and then I'll do the actual thanks at the end.
I do have one, I think, don't I? I don't. I thought I saved one. So we're going to hop on to online dating platforms at the end of the episode. We like to peruse online dating things like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, look through the profiles, see what works, see what doesn't work, in an effort to make your online dating experience a little more enjoyable. This person doesn't have a profile. So right now, I guess we can look at it together. Here's Paige. She's 26. Looking for a fun, let's see where this goes kind of connection. No, don't look at me like that. I work in broadcast television as well as events. I don't drink, but I don't care if you do. It's wild. What a simple Diet Coke will do for me. Stop it. It's not even like it's gross. Now it's making weird tongue. Ugh. I love
it
all
made you focus better.
I love all things nature and have a desire for travel in the near future. Bonus points for a sense of humor and sense of adventure. And then she has like there's little prompts now on Tinder. Who knew? The hottest thing you can do is suggest we leave the party early to go home and cuddle on the couch, and I'll ask you for back rubs. My go-to karaoke song is Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis Presley. Me, I'm a grown-up. Also me. Let's play hooky and go on an adventure.
You know what? I like it.
I like it too.
I think it's a solid 8.
It is good.
It could have a little bit more specificity at the start. I don't know. I couldn't really hear a lot of it because I was busy making weird faces at Dain. And he also misread it 5 times, so it kind of became...
it could have been edited out. Who knows?
Now they know.
Maybe I got it in 1.
Now they know. But overall, 8. I especially like the karaoke song. Boom, instant personality there. And the playing hooky adventure, they just seem sweet. So 8.
Man, so there's an ad here on Instagram for some sort of...
Instagram or Tinder?
Tinder. For a sex service of some sort. And I really want to read the URL, but I don't want to give free advertisement or lead anyone to a website that's bad.
See it?
But I won't say it. Just if you want to know, reach out to me on a social media platform and I'll tell you.
What does it mean?
I don't know. This is Sammy. Looking for a serious relationship, ready to settle down, looking for connections that share similar interests, and looking for a fun time exploring the city together.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, I want you to share similar interests. Oh, what ones are they?
Yeah.
What ones are they? Wait, that's it? You're done? It's a 4?
Oh, hold on. Here are their interests. Down at the bottom.
Okay.
I guess you can choose 5 interests. Sushi, travel, hot springs, walking, home workout.
Okay.
She loves walking.
She loves walking.
Yeah. Hey, are you interested in walking?
I do more of it than most people.
Cool. Well, perhaps you and Sammy are a match made in heaven.
Maybe.
Sammy, you got to do better.
It's a 4. It's
very,
very powerfully generic.
Yeah. This is, oh boy, Khadija. I think it's Khadija. About me. I'm an artist and producer here in Toronto. I sing, rap, songwrite, beat make, etc. Looking to meet someone chill, to vibe with. I do have a disability that affects my legs, so mobility is a little challenging. 420 friendly. I'm a little shy, so don't hesitate to message first.
I like it. At least, I appreciate that they get things up front that needs to be said up front, and they sound cool because they're a musician and an artist. So it's going to be 7. I still probably do it a little more, but 7.
Yeah, I feel like you've given enough crumbs to I can start building a rapport with you, you know?
Yes.
I can talk about the music you're making,
Mhm.
et cetera, et cetera. So that's something I love when people mention that they do art.
Yeah.
Because it gives you the opportunity to be like, I do art too. What
Yeah,
art
great.
do you do?
And
Let's talk about art.
Being able to talk to creative people about creativity is great. I love it. And also someone who gets it.
Here is another one. This is Carly. Smokers and vegans, and if you're allergic to dogs, you can swipe left. Hope you like country music and cottage weekends, and really just need it. Oh, weird that they say and here. Really just need a guy willing to go to any and all concerts. It's all about finding someone you want to get a dog with.
I hate the first line. It's weird to be like vegans and people who are allergic to dogs. It's like, I understand the smoker thing, so, you know.
I also kind of, if you have dogs, I also understand if you're allergic to dogs, we're probably not going to work out.
But I feel like at the end, with the line with the dog, that's a pretty good way of mentioning you really want dogs that will still probably have the same intended effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it is wild that she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6 dogs in her, and all the dogs are different.
Damn.
So I don't know are those all your dogs?
That's a lot of dogs.
Do you even have it? Are you just stealing people's
Yeah,
dogs?
because she seems to want a dog. Or is it every time she gets with someone, she gets a dog with that person, and then when she breaks up, well...
Yeah, almost all of her pictures are dogs.
Weird.
Or her cuddling dogs.
But I do find it weirdly negative, and I think if you just say you want to get a dog or something, it'll come up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also, you have 6 dog pictures. If someone's allergic to dogs and they see that and don't get the fact that they're going to die, then, So, it's going to be a 5.
I'm going to say it's a 4. I don't love it.
Fair.
This is Tay. About me. POV. You're the future king of the pirates. And then in brackets, I'm the One Piece. That's it.
Love it. 10 out of 10.
Me. I'm a grown-up. Also me. Plays dress up and watches cartoons. I can beat you in a game of Mortal Kombat 3. I want someone who will watch One Piece with me.
This person's great. I was joking with the 10 out of 10, but honestly, I'll give it a 9.
It is.
There's personality. They seem funny. They seem fun. They're unashamed of the nerdy things they're into, which I particularly love. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And they're funny. So great.
This is the last one. This is Angie. Exploration and growth are my vibes. I'm a sweetheart with some sass who values communication and authenticity. I've never met a long drive that I didn't like. I'm into learning new things, spending times outdoors, especially by a lake or bonfire, live music, photography, the drive-in, and big hugs. This is one of the prompts is the hottest thing you can do is be emotionally intelligent and not or discriminatory in any way. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I originally read that as emotionally intelligent, not in a...
Oh, not in a discriminatory way?
It's what does that mean?
Is that it?
That's it.
It's so bland and vague. It's not bad, but it's not good. If you were specific about the things you're talking about a little bit more, I would give you more, but I think it's a 6.
Yeah, I think 6 is where it needs to go. Once again, you're doing the thing of being I look for authenticity. Yeah, no one's looking for someone inauthentic. That's not what we're doing out here.
Right? So just stop with that.
Yeah, cool. That's going to do it for the episode, friends. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. As Niall mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we do have a live show coming up. So if you're listening to this when it comes out, it's October 26th, Thursday at the Black Sheep Cocktail Bar in Liberty Village in Toronto. Tickets are $10. You can get them on our website. Just go to fbuddiespodcast.com, click the live show. It'll bring you right there. It's a great night. It's a lot of fun. You can bring a group. It's more fun with friends. It's a really, really good vibe, and we would love to see you there.
And people are getting more rowdy every time, and we fucking love it.
We had one where it was like, it was bad rowdy. It was like drunk, bad view rowdy. But now it's rowdy in the best way.
And even then, it was just a little bit.
It was a little bit. We had one heckler that wasn't even...
Did that come through in the recording?
I haven't listened to it.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah, but it's been
a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
It's so gratifying to look out at a room full of like the coolest fucking people and be like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, it's like when, you can judge yourself by like the measure of your friends. If we could judge ourselves by the measure of our fucking audiences, we're doing fucking all right because you guys rock. So if you want to be another person I look at and tear up a little bit and think, wow, then come.
And if you want to watch me play Pitbull on Spotify
then come early.
Yeah, come early. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh Eagle Novices, for the song Paper Stars.
Yeah.
Ready for some bad sex writing?
Damn.
This one's pretty great. And by that, I mean really bad.
Okay.
This is, I believe, a post made on Reddit. Jesus Christ, just prepare yourself. I already linked this in another comment. We've succeeding in modifying rat neurons in vivo. Within the next year or two, we'll be able to modify human brains to increase pair bonding ability and make it so that women don't care about things like money or height anymore. This will be a good thing for everyone, in bold. Why would you ever even try to disagree with that? Why would women being genuinely equally attracted to men, regardless of things like money or height or status or whatever, somehow be a bad thing for women or men? How would widening your sexual preferences be a bad thing for you? I'd say the same thing with men, but men aren't the ones with restricted preferences. There's nothing to lose. Seriously, think about this. If you're throwing a tantrum being told you shouldn't care about how tall a guy is or how much money he makes, yet you think you're the good guy here, how?
Yeah, men have never been known to have any sort of physical preferences when it comes to women.
Yes, and like going into a woman's brain and tampering with it so that she finds you attractive and you can fuck her, that's a normal good thing that good guys do.
It's fixing, not tampering.
Sorry, you're completely correct. Correcting the mess that is women's brains to make them find your incel ass so hot. That's just really just correcting God's.
And it's good for everyone.
It's good for absolutely everyone, especially the women whose brains have been fixed, not tampered with.
Exactly.
Jesus, this makes me ill to read, actually.
I just love that people are like, oh yeah, men don't have any sort of bad views about physical characteristics about women. And they certainly don't go on, social media to broadcast their absolute anger anytime a woman who might be slightly overweight or a woman who is one body type has put on weight or lost weight.
Or maybe if a woman has slept with someone maybe once or twice or anything. Yeah. We would never slut shame, never judge for that.
Yeah, no. Like, say if a famous pop star started dating a football player, I'm sure I'm sure that would be fine. Anyway, my name is Dain Miller.
And my name is Niall Spinney.
And we've been your Fuck Buddies.